All right, good morning, everybody. My name is Phil Ginsberg. I'm the general manager of your San Francisco Recreation and Park Department. And welcome to August in Golden Gate Park. It's just another Outside Lands Day as far as we can tell. In just 68 days, Golden Gate Park will celebrate its 150th birthday. On April 4th, 1870, the California State Legislature passed a law creating the framework for this amazing park and San Francisco's own park system. For 150 years, San Francisco's parks have highlighted the importance of place in San Francisco, and Golden Gate Park might just be San Francisco's most important place. Since the gold rush, Golden Gate Park has borne witness to our city's remarkable history. To understand Golden Gate Park is to understand San Francisco. From the post-gold rush years to the 1906 earthquake and fire, from the Panama Pacific International Exposition to the Summer of Love, from the AIDS epidemic to the explosion of technology, business, and jobs, Golden Gate Park has served as the city's pastoral oasis through all its joy, its sadness, its growth and innovation. Within the park's majestic canopy are 150 years of stories. Stories about class, about race, about nationality and religion. Stories about conflict and peace. Stories about gentrification and equity. Stories about constancy and change. Stories about stewardship and destruction. Stories about technology and nature, about celebration and suffering. Stories about art, music, and food. Stories about large gatherings and solitary strolls. Stories about communities, neighborhoods, families. Stories about each and every one of us. Amidst this park's awe-inspiring trails, meadows, lakes, and groves, its ball fields and playgrounds, its museums and institutions, its amazing events and activities, both large and small, and amidst a few hundred of the 25 million people who visit this treasure every year and make it part of their lives, we're here today to officially kick off the 150th anniversary of Golden Gate Park. Over the course of this year, we will be joined by over 150 park partners. We'll undertake 150 park improvement projects, big and small. And on April 4th, we will host 150 free activities, including free admission to our cultural institutions and specialty gardens. Today, we begin with one of those 150 park improvement projects. We will be planting 150 trees in this beloved park. There's no better way to acknowledge Golden Gate Park's unique civic importance than to be joined by our city's civic leadership. Today, we're joined by our mayor, London Breed, our District 1 Supervisor, Sandy Fewer, our park commissioners, Eric McDonald, Tom Harrison, whose birthday it is today. Happy birthday, Commissioner. Kat Anderson, and our incredible honorary committee co-chairs, Nancy Hellman, Bechtle, and Rodney Fong, representing our group today. We're also joined by our partner, Drew Becher from the San Francisco Parks Alliance, and I saw Liz Farrell, the chair and president of the Parks Alliance board. But we're also thrilled to be standing with our gardeners and apprentices and so many volunteers representing more than these 150 community groups and organizations. It's our volunteers that make our parks beautiful and our staff that makes our parks beautiful year-round. And today they will begin our year-long mission to leave a lasting legacy for the next generation by planting these 150 trees that will grow in our beloved Golden Gate Park. So we've got no better champion of Golden Gate Park and our city's entire park system than our very own San Francisco native, Mayor London Breed. I want to thank our mayor for asking us and the Parks Alliance to lead Golden Gate Park's 150th celebration, for understanding the importance of celebrating what's right and special about our city, and for honoring our team of employees and volunteers who work tirelessly every single day to ensure Golden Gate Park continues to thrive for the next 150 years. I'm very honored to give you our mayor, London Breed.
Well, first of all, Phil didn't ask me. He said, we're celebrating 150 years of Golden Gate Park, and we have a laundry list of things we should be thinking about doing to highlight this significant milestone. And let me tell you, of course, what could I say but let's do it. Let's do it because we know that Phil cares about making sure that our parks are thriving in San Francisco, all over the various neighborhoods. Issues around equity that he talked about include making sure that we are investing communities throughout San Francisco. And as we celebrate such an incredible milestone here at Golden Gate Park, we are reminded that so many people use this park for so many different things. And I'm so glad that Miles is here today from the Church of Eight Wheels, because he actually uses like regular roller skates. I don't know if any of you have experience with regular roller skates where there's two wheels in the front and there's two wheels in the back. So some of my fondest and first memories of Golden Gate Park included, when my aunt, who was attending Washington High School, would bring me here to Golden Gate Park on the weekends, because that's where her and her friends would meet up to roller skate. And so you would just have people all over this park. And I mean, really, there were hardly any bikes. There was mostly people roller skating. And that was the thing. I thought I was such a big kid at the time, because it was all teenagers and I'm the little kid with my aunt hanging out. And so, just thinking about those kinds of memories, so many people have those memories, whether it's visiting the old DeYoung Museum before the earthquake when the work was done to retrofit it into this new incredible place, or remember the old Academy of Sciences. The good news is the stuffed animals that were there before are still there now, which also continues to take you back. Or just walking around this beautiful park, so many incredible memories. Thinking about the Summer of Love and the anniversary we just celebrated, and lighting up the Christmas tree. So many incredible memories. And part of what makes this park so beautiful, of course, are the unsung heroes of the people who work here, the gardeners, the Rec and Park staff, the park patrol, so many incredible people who are standing on the sidelines right here getting wet, because they're out here every single day, whether it's to take care of the Japanese tea garden or the botanical garden, all of those things. They are here every single day, keeping this place beautiful for over 150 years. So I'm so glad that I wasn't alive 150 years ago, because I probably wouldn't be here to celebrate today. But I'm really glad to be here with so many people to mark this incredible milestone. It is significant. This park has seen so many changes in our city, and as Phil talked about, just our history and how significant that is. And so this is the time that we take a moment to pause and to just really reflect on where we've been and how far we've come, and to use this as an opportunity to celebrate with, yes, a large Ferris wheel, which, like it or not, I'm excited about it. Yes, to celebrate with free activities on April 4th that really allow families and people from all over San Francisco to come and enjoy the park. But more importantly, I'm excited about the free shuttles that will bring people from various communities, from the Bayview Hunters Point and other neighborhoods, to the park to enjoy the festivities that will be taking place on that day and throughout the year. I want to thank the over 150 organizations that have joined this effort. I want to thank all of the folks who are going to be planting the 150 trees here at Golden Gate Park. But you don't have to stop at 150. There's opportunities to plant more throughout San Francisco. And just thank everyone for your participation, especially Nancy Bechtle, who's here today, who's going to be co-chairing this large effort along with the Parks Alliance, and so many people who really care deeply about preserving these parks, including Golden Gate Park, so that in another 150 years, there's a whole new group of people celebrating 300-year anniversary of this incredible milestone. Thank you so much for being here today.
So we couldn't be luckier to have the supervisor representing Golden Gate Park. She is a fourth-generation San Franciscan. Golden Gate Park is woven into her own childhood memories and remains a big part of her life. She's been such an advocate for kids and really understands how our parks provide so many opportunities for our kids to grow, play, learn, and be healthy. And as she has liked to remind me regularly over the last 4 years, 90% of the park is within her district. 70% of the park is within her district. And we have literally walked trails together to talk about, in the smallest of spaces, how to make this park even better and more welcoming and more accessible for our communities. It's my privilege to introduce Supervisor Sandy Fewer.
Thank you, Phil, and welcome everyone out to my hood, way on the west side out of the city of San Francisco. And I'm thrilled to be joining you today as we kick off the 150th anniversary of San Francisco's beloved treasure, Golden Gate Park. I am Sandra Lee Fewer, Supervisor of District 1, and as Phil said, 70% of Golden Gate Park is in my jurisdiction. My neighbors who live out here on the west side are fortunate to have this valued resource in their backyard. But we also know how important Golden Gate Park is to San Francisco residents and all who visit our wonderful city. We're looking forward to the year-long celebration to highlight the beauty of the park and also its long legacy as a San Francisco institution that demonstrates not only our commitment to open space, nature, and our natural environment, but also how this park has remained a free and accessible asset to all who wish to enjoy it. It is true that I have lived out here for over 60 years, and this park I grew up in. This is where I learned to ride a bicycle. This is where my children were raised, in this park, going to the Academy of Sciences. And I, like Lyndon Breed, a native San Franciscan, remember field trips out here, family gatherings out here, indeed, many more memories that are soon to be added to our collection of memories as we embark on all these festivities to commemorate the 150th anniversary. So in closing, I'd like to extend my appreciation to Rec and Park and its staff for its hard work and all our partners and volunteers to help make this park the wonderful place that it is for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor. So this celebration wouldn't be possible without the many partners who are joining together to make all these events a reality. We're so grateful to Kaiser Permanente, to Target, to Another Planet Entertainment, and the more than 150 community groups and organizations who are so important to this cause. Thank you very much. I want to also recognize, I see Iquan here. I want to recognize the Academy of Sciences and Scott Sampson here. Scott, nice to see you for making the Academy free on April 4th. Thank you very, 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 very much. And a word about Another Planet. At last year's Outside Lands concert, Another Planet worked with Paul Simon, who was their headliner, to make a donation to the San Francisco Parks Alliance and Friends of the Urban Forest and the Recreation and Park Department. And because of that gift, part of that gift will is funding the 150 trees we're planting today. So thank you very much to Greg and Alan, Another Planet. Of course, none of this happens without amazing civic leadership, and leading this effort are some of the most amazing honorary co-chairs who many of you know because of their long-standing love and dedication to our city and the work they do to make San Francisco a better place to live, work, and play. Please welcome to the podium Nancy Hellman Bechtle and Rodney Fong.
We're just negotiating who's going to talk first. You want to go first? Okay. Anyway, it is kind of totally amazing that we're celebrating 150 years of Golden Gate Park. And when the mayor talked about roller skating here as a kid, I roller skated here as a kid too. But I don't know, very few of you will remember this, but it also was a place where there were a lot of horses. We used to horseback ride here. I see a lot of people nodding to this. Anyway, Golden Gate Park had a rather inauspicious start when they when San Francisco leaders invited Olmsted, who designed Central Park in New York to design the park. And they wanted, the leaders wanted to have it out here. Well, this was nothing but sand dunes. And he took a look at this terrible place and he said, it's not going to happen. So that was not going to be the end of the park because the city leaders wanted to have a park here. So they turned to John McLaren, who happened to be a friend of John Muir, and who designed this absolutely beautiful park. And somebody said a park is, ooh, here comes the rain.
Just fog.
Oh, it's just liquid fog. Yes, that's true. We San Franciscans know it's liquid fog. I have an umbrella here if anybody needs one. Everybody needs one. So when McLaren saw the park, or this land, he thought this would be an absolutely great place to have a park. But he felt very strongly that it would never be a great park if there was ever a sign saying "keep off the grass." So I think if you all know, there has never been and will never be, right, a sign that says "keep off the grass." So anyway, it's an honor to be involved with the celebration, the 150th year celebration of Golden Gate Park. And I want to thank all of our sponsors, our leaders, our tree planters, the gardeners, everybody who's involved with this park, because it is a city treasure. Thank you.
I'll be very quick here because the rain's starting to come down, but like many people here have grown up in this park, skinned my knee on that hill, bike riding, skinned my other knee over here, skateboarding, so all of us enjoy this park. I just want to mention, I think Phil Ginsburg's done a great job of transforming this park that we've all grown up in and watched it change and grow and brought energy into it. I know he's going to do further things, but I just want to mention, Phil, thank you very much. Thank our mayor for coming out and supporting. This is going to be a fantastic effort, this 150th anniversary. I see Ben Davis there, who's made great contributions to this park as well. And so I wanted to say, hey, go Golden Gate Park, go San Francisco 49ers.
Thank you, Nancy and Rodney, representing your other co-chairs, Charlotte Schultz, Mayor Willie Brown, and Rec and Park Commission President Mark Buell, who couldn't be here today. Nancy, you should know that horseback riding exists in Golden Gate Park. It is at Bear Cut, and on April 4th, we will have free pony rides. Next, I want to introduce a person who really understands the power of parks as a force for social good. He and his organization have become such incredible partners and enable us to really do amazing, excellent things. He's the CEO of the San Francisco Parks Alliance. He's our partner, and they are our partner in this year-long celebration, and frankly, our partner in transforming all of our city parks and infusing our parks in every neighborhood with love and attention and resources that they need. I want to thank him and the organization for their creativity and for always encouraging community. Please welcome up Drew Becher.
Thank you, Phil. Thanks, Phil. I always like being introduced by Phil. I feel better than being introduced by my mother sometimes. It's awesome. It's awesome. Thank you, Mayor Breed, and all the dignitaries here today who've been an integral part of making this year-long celebration a reality. Your support and leadership have been so important, and here's to the more than 150 partners and community groups that have come together to honor this amazing park we call Golden Gate Park. Today, our city has a narrative that is not as positive as it should be. Today, we start changing that narrative. I believe this once-in-a-lifetime celebration for this iconic piece of land that we call Golden Gate Park is just the recipe we need. We need this year-long celebration to celebrate what this city can do and what we can do right. Golden Gate Park is everything that's right about San Francisco, and we need to model this in every single neighborhood. I love all of our partners, and we look forward to working with you all year to make this a very special event. And we look forward to working with the great folks, men and women of the San Francisco Rec and Park Department to celebrate with you. And thanks, and may the parks be with you.
Bravo, Drew. All right, so as the mayor alluded, what makes Golden Gate Park so special is that it really exemplifies the individuality, the diversity, the spirit, the soul, the love of our city. There is truly something for everyone here, from the individuals and families who explore it every day to the many cultural and recreation groups. We've got lawn bowlers and fly casters and soccer players and model boat enthusiasts. And yes, Mayor, let's not forget our amazing roller skaters. It's that fun, that spirit, that passion that we celebrate today. Somebody who embodies all of this is indeed our very own David Miles, better known as the Godfather of skate and an important part of our Golden Gate Park history and community. Roll on up here, David.
What about this weather? You love it, right? You love it because you're in the most fantastic place that you could possibly be. I have been skating in this park for over 40 years. This is my granddaughter here. I'm trying to get her to carry it on to the next 150 years here in Golden Gate Park. But what I want to say is, when you come to San Francisco, when you get involved in San Francisco, there's a special energy about it that I think that I've tapped into it. And each and every Sunday, right down the street here, I met my wife, Rose, roller skating 40 years ago. And to this day, we still come out, we still have a fantastic time. The energy is just as strong now as it has always been. So when we do that celebration in April, oh yes, we will have a skater showcase over here. You will see the best skaters showing off their best talents in honor to just honor being here and honor being a part of the most fantastic place in San Francisco.
Miles, where should we go to practice before the court? Where should we go to practice before the court?
Actually, you look right across the street there. This is one of 2 recognized outdoor roller skating areas in the country. But of course, we lead the way, San Francisco. You can come here and skate each and every day, but we come out here Sundays from about noon to 6 every Sunday, and Saturdays as well. And if you want to go inside, let's not be commercial. Church of 8 Wheels, everybody.
All right, so Drew, you want to join me back up here before we officially kick off this amazing celebration with the cutting of the ceremonial garland, which is made from foliage and flowers you can find here in this park. We want to thank all the dignitaries here today who've been such an integral part in making this year-long celebration a reality. I'm going to miss people, but I see Stephanie Linder here from the San Francisco Botanical Garden. Scott, thank you again from the Academy. Ben Davis, I saw you back there. Thank you for all the love and creativity that you put into the Conservatory of Flowers and that you will be putting into the Spreckles Bandshell. I saw John Cunningham from the AIDS Grove. I saw Michael Lambert from the library who's going to be having an exhibit at the library, and I think our summer reading program involves parks. We're going to have exhibits at the airport. Tom Campbell from the DeYoung. We have so many partners, literally over 150 of them. And your support and leadership have been so important. We're all coming together for our city to honor Golden Gate Park. And so we can all show this park how much we love and care for it and how much we want to invest in it for the next 150 years. Our last thanks is to all of our volunteers and staff. They are the real story behind Golden Gate Park. If it weren't for you, if it weren't for our working men and women who have cared for this park for 150 years, think about that. And for the volunteers, the sweat that our volunteers have put into this park every single day for 150 years, this wouldn't be the greatest park in America. And you know what? It is. So let's cut our garland. Thank you all.